Welcome into episode 7 of Rangers Deep in the Heart, where I take you inside the Rangers organization through their players, their families, and the staff behind it. The show is presented by Justin, the official boot of the Texas Rangers. I'm Hannah Wing. Joining me today is 2024 All-Star and Rangers closer Kirby Yates and his wife Ashlee. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I know you just had a birthday, Ashlee, so what'd you guys do?
We just went to dinner, hang out with our kids, normal night.
Where'd you guys go to dinner?
Gloria's.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was really
Tex-Mex.
good. Yes, it was really good. We had a good time.
What'd you get to eat there?
Enchiladas, lots of margaritas, you know, the normal
Can't
stuff.
go wrong with a good old Tex-Mex margarita. I'm a huge fan.
It was good.
Well, there's lots to celebrate between both your birthday and your recent All-Star appearance, which we'll get into later in the show. Kirby, this season you've had so much success here in Texas. You're 17 for 17 in save opportunities, and you have over 12 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. What about your arsenal can you attribute that success to that you've had this year?
I keep saying, I think it just goes back to being able to execute pitches. I came into the season, that was the only thing I kind of focused on all offseason. Felt like in the past that was probably one of my biggest attributes. I know everybody talks about the split and everything like that, but locating fastballs is, primarily the key in setting up hitters and being able to put guys away. So I felt like last year was kind of a struggle to be able to do that. And so this year when I came in, it was kind of one of the things I really primarily focused on.
Why was that such a main focus for you?
Just because that was what I was really good at in the past, and I felt like that's what made me good. I can get if I can get hitters trying to hit my fastball, it makes my split better, and vice versa the other way. But the only way to kind of set everybody up and pitch to a scouting report and do what I like to do is be able to locate fastballs where I want to place them. And so far this year, I've been placing them in pretty good spots.
Ashley, when you see Kirby and all the success that he's had this season, as a wife, what are your reactions when he comes home after an incredible save?
It's exciting, and he's happy, and he seems really comfortable. So that makes me happy that he's confident here and comfortable, and makes it easy for me when he comes home. So, yeah, I'm proud of him and excited for more success.
Absolutely. Kirby, what about the Rangers organization and just being here in Texas makes you so comfortable?
Well, I think it's an easy place to live, and two, this is a real easy place to play. We have good, easygoing fans. The organization's welcomed me with open arms and been fully supportive since day one. And, I think when you kind of combine all those things, it just makes you comfortable, and it makes it easy to come to the field every day.
You've played for so many different organizations over the past 10 seasons. What about the Texas Rangers organization stands out to you the most?
Kind of what I just said. I mean, it's a very easygoing place. So when you walk into that clubhouse, there's a lot of smiles, a lot of laughter. It's an inviting place to play, and kind of, it's not. There's not a whole lot of negative energy around, which is good. And you walk in every day, and it's a positive feeling, and it's a fun environment. And personally, I like that type of environment.
When you look around the Rangers clubhouse, what player, I guess few players, really bring that positive energy on a daily basis?
I mean, there's a bunch of them. Josh Smith's a good one to have around. Nate Lowe, Marcus Corey. He's been hurt, but Josh Jung is always around, and it's a good one. And then our bullpen's a lot of fun. I like having Sporzy and everybody around, and it's a good time in the bullpen. We're giving each other a hard time constantly. I don't think you're ever safe from anybody when you go down there. And, I think it lightens the mood, and it just, it helps you relax a little bit. And, we play this game every day, and kind of when you're on the mound, usually it's pressure-packed situations. So you want to have that loose feel every day and have that, that kind of chemistry, and I think we do.
Can you talk about what the game is that you guys play in the bullpen?
Well, there's a bunch of them, but
or maybe one or two favorites.
They're not really games. It's just more of, giving each other a hard time constantly, making sure, everybody's kind of, nothing goes missed, I would say. If you say something or if you do something, somebody's going to pick up on it and probably give you a hard time about it.
Ashlee, when you evaluate the Rangers bullpen, who have you seen Kirby become the closest with this season?
I would say David Robertson. They are super close and similar in age. So, that helps when you've got an old guy rules kind of feel. But they're just very chill people and enjoy playing baseball. And he just kind of flows in with Kirby's vibe. So I would say David.
Not saying that you're old. However, in a few weeks, you will be celebrating your 10 years of service time. First of all, congratulations on that. Earlier this season, we spoke about how you've really seen the game evolve over the past decade. So as a pitcher, how have you adjusted your game accordingly with how strong hitters have become?
Yeah, it's different because strike zones change. Everything's kind of changed from the first time I've gotten in. The strike zone's probably a little smaller now. But hitters are getting better too. I think hitters are more inclined of hitting your best pitch, and they go up there and kind of, I would say, are more prepared for your best pitch as they were in the past. A lot of people, I would say in the past, it was kind of like if you get beat by his best pitch, it's okay. And now they're kind of trending into like, well, I'm going to try and hit his best pitch or spoil his best pitch as best you can. So, it's just that finding those little adjustments as you get older, and it's on a daily basis and series to series kind of, because if you go in and face the same lineup a couple times in a series, like the second time they're probably going to be a little bit more prepared just because they've had their own eyes on you. And so it's kind of trusting your eyes and having that experience of trusting what you see and kind of making adjustments off of that. You always have a plan when you go into an at-bat. You have your scouting report and you have your ideas what you're going to do, but the best evaluators are your eyes. So what your eyes tell you is probably what you want to go with. And I think, as I've gotten older, I've gotten better at doing that.
There is such an age difference within the Rangers bullpen. So how have you taken your experience and maybe David's experience as well and shared some of those lessons with the younger guys in the Rangers bullpen?
Yeah, I think, it's all up to them, right? They got to come ask good questions. It's you don't want to kind of impose on anybody, and I don't like to go over and start talking to people and tell them to do this and do that. I don't think that's fair to anybody. But when they ask questions, you give them your honest feedback, whether it's good or bad, and I think that's the best way to learn. And, guys ask questions. Some guys don't need to ask questions. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to figure it out for yourself, and that's a good one. There's some young guys that have come up and gone down that I think, when they come up, they get their eyes opened a little bit that, this is the toughest league in the world to play in. And, I learned the lessons the hard way coming up, and it was kind of, sometimes that's the best way to learn, but it is good to have somebody that you can kind of fall back on and say, hey, this is, what I'm thinking and what can I do? And, and you give them your best answer and try and keep it positive. And I think me and D-Rob have done that.
You have a really interesting story. You were originally undrafted, and now 10 years later, you're still in the big leagues. When you look back on the past decade of playing professional baseball, what are you the most proud of when you evaluate your journey?
Well, I think the way it got started is pretty unique. Not getting drafted and kind of having a barbecue with me and my dad just making steaks and talking about what we're going to do next, and, getting a phone call the next morning and being on a plane 2 days later and flying all the way from Hawaii all the way to, Virginia and driving to West Virginia and doing all that. A pretty crazy story, and I think it's just, I would just say it's an underdog story, I guess, if you want to say, because, I don't think primarily even when I was pitching good and even still when I pitch good, I don't think that there's a bunch of people that still believe that, I should be capable of doing this. And personally, I've figured out a long time ago that it doesn't matter. The only things that matter are what you think and the people around you. And I have a great support staff, starting with her and my entire family. And so, you just need the right people to believe in you. You don't need anybody else to believe in you. As long as you believe in yourself and the people around you believe in you, that's kind of all you need. And I think that's the biggest key.
Ashlee, as Kirby's #1 supporter, as you just put up your little #1 right there.
Actually, his dad is probably #1. I'd probably be.
You could do 1A, 1B.
Yeah,
1A,
there you
1B.
go.
When you evaluate Kirby's career over the past 10 years, what are you as his wife the most proud of?
Oof, probably just his comebacks. So he's been hurt. Oh my God, I'm like emotional. That's sad.
Here we go.
They're gonna be like, oh, turn it off. No, he's just had hard times, gotten hurt, and then come back. He always comes back. So I'm done talking now.
Kirby, when you evaluate just Ashlee as a support system, as a wife, and your 1A, 1B supporter,
Right.
what does she mean to you in the baseball chaos and the life that you live together?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think in San Diego, everything was going good for me personally, and for her personally, it probably wasn't, because she was running into some things and that we had to deal with as a family, and it was kind of chaotic, everything. But I was having success, you know what I mean? And she kind of just shied it away and kind of, you know, never put the pressure on me to, like, you know, have to make a decision or do any types of that. It was always, I'm supporting, like, she was 100% behind me, and never made an issue about her or anything like that. And then, you know, when I got hurt, we had to make a decision as a family about, you know, where to go, where to rehab, and do all that. And you know, I just felt like talking to her, and I said, you know, the place I'm most comfortable with rehabbing this is doing it at Meister's place and being so close to him, and just trying to get the best support that I could possibly get to, you know, fix my arm, fix everything, and get moving on the right way. And she never, you know, questioned anything or did anything. She got up and said, all right, let's go, found us a place to live, put our kids in school, did the whole thing, and just, you know, never asked questions, never gave me a hard time or didn't. It's just
Only sometimes.
This is what we're going to do. And she, you know, she did everything that was necessary. And, you know, now you're looking back at here and all those sacrifices that we made, it's worth it. And, you know, I'm truly grateful.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Aren't you glad we have that on video for you?
Yeah, replay that back.
We'll make sure you get
Retract.
it fixed.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Retract.
We're coming off of a few weeks after the MLB draft, so we just talked about your story a little bit. So what is a piece of advice that you have to players that either just went undrafted or drafted that want to have the longevity of a career that you've had?
Oh, I think, one, you have to be fully invested, that once you get in, that this is your career path. You know, I think a lot of people get in and then they think, well, I'll do this for a little bit and then I can go do something else. And I think if you have your mind somewhere, like just a bit of your mind somewhere else, that's never going to work out. I think you have to be fully invested in this and treat it like this is your new 9-to-5 job. This is everything you work for your entire, you know, you only get one shot at this. And especially I think with the way the minor leagues is now, they've cut out so many teams that, you know, you don't have, a lot of guys don't have an opportunity for a second chance. So you need to put all your eggs in this basket and go all for it. That means taking the off season seriously and, you know, finding the right gym, finding the right way, and finding your, you know, your kind of your routine that's going to help you, and just, you got to go all in for it.
Well, congratulations on almost 10 years of service time, Kirby, and also congratulations on your most recent All-Star appearance. Let's talk about that All-Star game, because first of all, you guys all killed it on the red carpet. Ashlee, what was the story behind those incredible matching magenta outfits that you all had?
A lot of shopping, a lot of online shopping. So Kirby sends me a patch of like 3 different suit options that he's going to get, and all of them are very loud. And so I'm like, how am I going to match all these things? And I just shopped online so much. Like, there was like boxes upon boxes upon boxes. It was kind of a problem. And then I took a picture of every outfit and sent it to every person in my family, like, Mom, Aunt, Kirby, like, do you approve? Ended up going with the dress I literally got on the last day, and my kids were easy, you know. My daughter just wanted pink, and it just matched, and my son got a matching shirt with Kirby, and we just went for it. So it was nice. It ended up working out.
You guys absolutely killed it. And you also killed it on the mound that night, throwing a scoreless 8th inning. Kirby, we talked a little bit about your emotions and potentially what you would feel taking the mound in an all-star uniform at your home ballpark. Now that it's all over and done with, how do you evaluate your emotions and that performance during the all-star game?
It was, I think, it's kind of weird because it's like, you're so nervous and you have all these emotions leading up to it, but by the time I got around to like the 3rd or 4th inning, like I was yawning in the bullpen. Like, you're just kind of like, it's been too long. There's been 2 long days, so like, you know, you're kind of in a good way, like, relaxed. You know what I mean? And I knew where their section was, so I'd already seen them.
We were pretty big crowds. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people there, and they all had, you know, the jerseys, which they're pretty bright jerseys this year. So I could see where they were, and it just kind of helped me relax. So by the time I was warming up, I think the neat thing is like I had the same bullpen catcher catching me. I had Hazy right there next to me. So we were sitting there talking, laughing, or whatever. So by the time I ran in, like I was pretty relaxed and I was pretty dialed. And I think I felt good. I felt comfortable, which is, the easiest thing to go out there and do. And, it translated on the mound, and I'm thankful that I was in a good spot and, made it easy.
You had over 20 family members. I think Ashlee said before this, 23 total, all the way here in Texas from Hawaii. What were some memories or core moments that you all had with your extended family being here?
So many. Do we even talk about the We had a lot of fun at our house post-game, and the night before he's got a loud family in a good way, and then my family was there, so it was just a lot of fun, and we got food catered.
Yeah.
And it was just nice, like
What
a little rowdy of a group, but we had a good time.
Yeah, we're always rowdy.
Yeah.
We had a dinner after the All-Star game that we kind of set up, or not the All-Star game, but the Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
It's kind of when we got back from the Home Run Derby, there was a catered dinner set up and everything in the house, and I think that's the best part is just when you get I don't get a chance to see them a whole lot. Like I get to see them like maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and so when me and my brothers get together, it's a lot of fun. It does get rowdy, those are kind of the best memories.
Yeah.
So looking back on All-Star Week here in Texas, again, such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be in it, but then also to have it be, 20, 30 minutes from your home. Yeah. What was a top memory from everything for each of you? Ashlee, we'll start with you.
Ooh, just watching him pitch, because I was there the first time, obviously, but it was so different. Like, God, why do I keep getting all emotional today? This is annoying. But just watching him come out, like, totally different feeling, being nervous, being excited, and then having this huge group around us, and we're all standing up and being so obnoxious. But, yeah, really proud.
I guess we talked about Kirby's emotions, but what emotions were
Clearly,
you and the family around you feeling watching him run out?
I actually cried, so clearly I'm a nutcase and I cry all the time. But yeah, it was just a lot of emotions. His family was tearing up, and we were all trying to drink our drinks so that we weren't crying in the stands. So yeah, it was great. It was just a wonderful experience.
Amazing. Kirby, what was your favorite memory from the entire All-Star experience here in Texas?
Honestly, is probably having the kids down at the Home Run Derby. Yeah. And, like, they were, the first couple rounds, like, the first 3 hitters, they were kind of into it. And then, we all had a party bus taking us back and forth from the house, right?
Love that.
So
yeah, it was a good time.
We were all leaving together, and nobody wanted to leave the Home Run Derby, so I was down there with the kids all alone. And, they started getting tired, and they just, kind of snagged a couple pillows, got their towels, and were just lying down on the couches and making themselves right at home. So I thought that was pretty comical. It was good, and it was fun.
I think I saw that on your Instagram story. I commented back. I was like, same, because by that point we were all just so tired and so fun. But, again, congratulations on almost 10 years of service time and your second All-Star appearance. When we come back, we'll play the Newlywed game, hear all about Ashlee's children's book called The Stink, and so much more. Justin is proud to serve as both the official boot of the Texas Rangers and the presenting partner of the Rangers Deep in the Heart podcast. Join the winning team and embrace the spirit of Texas by stepping into a new pair of Justin boots today. Crafted for fans who demand nothing but the best, Justin boots are the perfect blend of style and comfort. Walk like a champion and shop now at justinboots.com. Justin, standard of the West since 1879. Ashlee and Kirby, the two of you met at Yavapai College in Arizona. Kirby, obviously you played baseball, and Ashlee, you played volleyball. What do you two remember about the very first time you met?
You want to tell this story?
No, you probably should.
All right, so
funny.
we're going to a party, right? And it's like a house party, and I show up, and I'm fresh from Hawaii, where it's 85 degrees and sunny, and I'm wearing a hoodie and surf shorts and slippers, and it's snowing outside.
Yeah, it's freezing.
And so I walk in, and her and her friend are standing there, and I kind of just like, I'm bored and whatever.
Oh, you're bored.
All right, I'm going to go talk to the volleyball girls. And so I walk up, and she's wearing a volleyball hoodie, and say, hey, how's it going? Do you play volleyball? She's like, yes, I do. And I was like,
No, to be clear, I said yes, obviously.
Yes, obviously. And I didn't
Very
have anything after
sarcastically.
that. I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of like, all right, and I walked away.
That was it. No name, nothing.
So I planted the seed, and 2 days later we go and sit down in was it biology?
Biology, I think, yeah.
Biology, and I'm sitting in the front row or one of the front tables, and she walks in and she's kind of looking where to sit, and she didn't have anywhere to sit.
Oh,
but-
I see where this is going.
Yeah.
So who'd she come sit by? And it was me, and I just kind of planted the seed, and it worked.
Planted the
So you had chemistry and biology class. Is that what we're getting
There
at?
you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
both at the same time.
So how did it evolve from biology class into dating?
We were friends for a long time. I was actually dating someone else. He was dating a lot of people. Like most baseball players. But yeah, no, we just were friends for a long time. And then I think you invited me to Hawaii, and I was like, okay, maybe I should, take advantage of this.
She kind of invited herself.
I don't know
Not a
about
bad
that.
place to visit, though. Not
Yeah.
a bad
I
place
know.
to visit.
Yeah, no, but we were friends, and it just evolved from there. It was natural,
I
Easy.
love that. And then the two of you got married in 2016. I love asking this question. What was something that each of you had to have at the wedding, whether it was a song, food, a detail? Like, what was something that really mattered to each of you?
I don't know.
I just wanted good food, and so we
Yeah.
got married on Kauai, and so I knew like the right place to go, and that was the only thing. Is like we needed good food, and that was kind of my thing.
What kind of food did you guys have?
Just like good Hawaiian local food. It's a place called Mark's Place, and they kill it. And they've been around forever, and usually anything they make's really good.
Sounds delicious. Ashley, what about you? What was something that you really cared about at the wedding?
I just wanted everyone to have a good time. Yeah, we were like not big wedding types. Like we didn't have flowers. Everything was super casual. I didn't even pick out my dress. My mom did. Like
Really?
Yeah, like we went together, but she's like, I like this one. I'm like, sounds good. Like I was not really a big wedding type. I didn't have these dreams of big wedding. I just wanted to have fun, and we had a lot of fun. Like it was great.
It was a good party.
And
And if
Another
your family's
rowdy moment.
I was going to say, if they're rowdy at the All-Star game,
Yeah.
can only imagine
Yeah,
at your
and
wedding.
my family's rowdy, and they came out. We actually had friends fly out.
Yeah.
Came from Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we had
Yeah, Adam,
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
people from New York, a lot of like my
Yeah.
ex-teammates in minor leagues and stuff like that.
They came a
So
long ways, yeah.
it was a good time.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Everybody told us it was a fun wedding. So that's all we cared about.
That's awesome. And then you went on and had Irish twins, Oakley and Cove.
Unscheduled,
First of
yes.
all, love their names. What are the meaning behind their names?
There's a little bit of meaning with Oakley. So Lee runs in my family. That's my grandpa. So my mom is Kimberly, L-E, Ashley, L-E, and then Oakley, L-E. So, and Kirby wanted them to sound like surfers. So we kind of like Googled surfer type names, and I don't know. That's kind of how we got to that state, I guess. But we live in the desert, so I don't think they're going to be surfers.
Well, they have great surfer names.
Yeah,
They're
maybe
great.
someday.
So they're 1 year apart?
They're 11 months apart.
Wow.
Yeah. I say they're good luck because it's 11 months, 11 days.
I
So
love that. That's
Yeah.
perfect. 11-11.
Yes.
So what are some things, obviously, they might not be surfing here in Texas, but that you like to do, the four of you, as a family on an off day?
Oh gosh, we spend so much time in the pool. Like
Yeah, I was gonna
every day in
say.
the pool. Yeah.
They love the pool. It's the ultimate babysitter. And I don't mind getting in with them either, you know what I mean? But yeah, they're really good in the water, both of them. And they're at the point now where they just kind of go in, throw their suits on, jump in. Dad, I'm going to the pool. It's like, all right. And you can kind of keep one eye on them. It's not to where, they're,
Not as stressful anymore.
yeah, they're pretty trustworthy in there. They know what to do, what not to do. And, I mean, now they're diving to the bottom of the pool and coming up and doing all their things.
Their
So
tricks, yeah.
that's probably the easiest thing. I mean, we've been to every zoo, every aquarium.
Yeah, everywhere.
You know what
we
I
go,
mean?
You've hit
That's
'em all.
it's kind of the one thing about, when you're in the big leagues and you go to places like you're just going to, you're going to attack every zoo, you're going to attack
Yeah.
every aquarium
Yeah.
and try and keep
Hit
them
'em
busy.
all.
So, Ashley,
Funny.
what is your routine like for, let's say, a 7:05 home game here in Texas?
I would like to say that I don't have a routine at all. Back home, I have a very scheduled routine for the kids, obviously, but here, I don't know. We don't really have a routine. We kind of just wake up when we wake up. We do homeschool summer in between those hours, and then we have to get outside. Like, I force them outside. I'm like, okay, 30 minutes, no matter what, you have to go outside, and I mean, they want to be outside all day. We paint and we do crafts, and they love playing with kinetic sand. If you have kids, then that's like a mess, complete mess, but they love it. So we just do that and have fun and kind of go with the flow. We're not as scheduled when we're here.
I heard there's some sort of wave pool surf place opening up in Dallas. So once it opens,
really?
you guys should definitely take the kids and
Interesting.
go check that
that
out.
would
Might
be
not be
fun.
as cool as Hawaii, but might be the closest thing we'll have. Well, speaking of family, we can't talk about family without sweet Chubs. So Chubs was your first purchase when you came to the big leagues. So why did he mean so much to your family?
I think this goes back to before we started dating, and I think I used to love Robin Big, right, with Meaty and all, and that's kind of where my love for a bulldog started. And I think I told her one day, we'll get together and we'll have a bulldog, and his name will be Chubs.
Yeah, some like
And
smart
so
comment,
she
yeah.
kind of, I guess,
I ran with it.
kept me to it, which I always wanted a bulldog, and we'd been talking about getting a bulldog, and it was the All-Star break in 2014. It's my first year, and she brought up like a video of this dog, and I think on and what was the name? It said Darwin or whatever.
Oh yeah, his name was Darwin.
Tough.
Yeah, and I was like,
And
no.
he was like, this little 7-week-old puppy, and 2
God,
weeks
he's so
later,
cute.
we were at the All-Star break. We were driving across the state of Florida to go get him in Fort Lauderdale, and we did. And I mean, it's just from the get-go. Like, we brought him home, he started prancing around, playing with himself, and I was like, oh my God, what did we get ourselves into?
Yeah.
And he was awesome. It was hard not to smile when he was around you, and just the stuff that he did. He had such a big personality as a dog. I never met a dog that had that type of personality.
He really did.
So
Yeah, I mean, he was like in pet calendars. Like if you go back to other teams, like they remember our dog. It's so bizarre. They're like, oh, how's Chubs? Like, what's Chubs doing? And I'm like, what in the world? Like he's famous. Like people loved him. So
that's like the
know.
first question I get asked.
Yeah.
Usually,
How's
how's Chubs?
Chubs?
Like,
Yeah.
how's everybody? And then it's how's Chubs?
Yeah.
And, so the last year it's kind of hard to tell people, and they're, you could sense like the heartbreak on everybody. But I mean, for the years that he was alive, I mean, geez, you can't replace what he did.
Kirby's
and
got
what he
his
meant.
underbite tattooed on him.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Just the underbite. How
Right
funny.
there.
Oh my gosh, that's
So-
amazing.
Yeah,
I
mean,
did not do that.
we were bringing him home to Hawaii too. I mean, when we
yeah,
still
we
lived there
flew
the
with
first
him.
3 years I was in the big leagues, and so for all 3 years after we got him, we were bringing him home to Hawaii, and he was our kid. I took him everywhere. We took him to the beach, and he would cruise with the window down in our truck, and we'd go on beach cruises, and his head would be out, and everybody started catching on that was him and whatever, and he was the man.
And he went so many places. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that poor dog. He lived in so many houses.
He lived in New York City, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
Wow, I just love picturing the thought of just a massive English bulldog
Yeah,
on the
just
streets of
walking,
New
yeah.
York.
He had no idea what to do. Like the first time, he like didn't know how to go to the bathroom there, and it was so hilarious on the sidewalk. He just kept staring at us like,
Yeah.
"What's happening? Why are we here?"
Well, Chubs might not be with us in person anymore. You wrote a beautiful book that was tributing to him
Yes.
called The Stink, and it's about an English bulldog that is navigating life through his perspective with a new baby sister. So, Ashley,
Yes.
what compelled you to write a children's book and honor Chubs the way that you did?
I've always wanted to write a children's book, so that was already a goal on my list. And then, I mean, I'd been writing about lots of things, and then Chubs passed away, and I'm like, this is perfect. Like, I was writing about my daughter, and Chubs is the perfect character, obviously. So we just kind of went from there. Like, my daughter came home, and Chubs he didn't struggle, but he was definitely acted a little like, what is going on, hesitation, and they ended up being fine together, but it was just kind of spiraling from real life experiences that we had.
Your book, The Stink, came
Yes.
out this spring. First of all, congratulations to you as
you.
well. What was something that you learned about being an author that might have been unexpected?
Oh my gosh, so many things. There's so many things. I think the biggest thing is like you don't realize how hard it is to write words. Like that sounds so silly, but like 32 pages, a children's book, there's like 5 words on a page. I went back so many times to make sure words rhymed, that they were spelled right. I mean, how many times did you look at the same pages over and over?
I was the master proofreader.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not paying for a publisher. Like, you're my editor. And it was just, I can't imagine writing a chapter book. Those people are insane. Like, that is a true talent because 32 pages is like so difficult for me.
What was your first reaction when you saw a physical copy of the book for the first time?
Oh my gosh, I was so impressed. Our illustrator was fabulous. He was from the UK. I absolutely, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I told Kirby, I'm like, it's a real book. I was expecting it to look kind of cheap and junky, and it was, it blows me away. Still, when I look at it, I'm like, I can see that on a shelf, and it impresses me every day. So I'm still very happy about it.
Kirby, I know that Ashlee is your top supporter when it comes to
Right.
baseball, but it seems like you're her top supporter in her career as an author. When you saw the book for the first time and read through everything, especially honoring Chubs, who was so close to you,
Yeah.
what was your reaction?
Well, I already had read the story right before you kind of get
Few
the
times.
book, and I was like, well, I like it. I think it's a good story, and then you get the book, and I was kind of blown away. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Good job, And, I was just proud. She's always capable of doing anything she wants to, I think finally she kind of just put her head down and worked and came up with a finished product and, well-deserved, and it's really cool.
So where can Rangers fans and listeners of the show get a copy of The Stink?
You can buy it on my website. It's ashleysauthors.com. And I'm also in a lot of children's boutiques, which are tagged on my page as well.
Awesome. We'll make sure to link Ashlee's link to her book and then also her Instagram and website as well down in the description. Moving on to the Newlywed Game. So from children's books to the Newlywed Game, it's been about 8 years, I would say, since you've probably played this.
Newlywed.
I don't know if we ever played this before.
Huh?
Did we play this before?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, well,
We
it's the
actually
first time
were
for
talking
everything.
about this before this. I'm like, this is a part. I'm like, we need to prepare for this because we might not do well.
You'll do great. So, Ashlee, I'll ask you 3 questions about Kirby, and then Kirby will say if they're correct or incorrect, and then we'll do the opposite. All right, you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Ashlee, who is Kirby's favorite professional surfer?
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Andy, what's his last name?
Irons.
Irons, yes.
Okay, 1 for 1.
Like his name is Andy.
What is Kirby's cheat day meal?
Yeah, he cheats every day.
What?
What? I mean, you kind of do. You don't. He eats well most of the time. I wouldn't say he cheats, but right? Do you have a cheat day meal?
Or just favorite food, I guess, or favorite meal?
Ooh, favorite food? Probably just Hawaiian food, chicken katsu. What's the other one? Lau lau or something? Pork
Lau
lau
lau.
lau. Yeah, which is I don't like that at all, but he eats it.
Okay, 2 for 2. And then finally, this one's really fun. If Kirby could play a round of golf with any professional golfer, who would it be?
Oof. Tiger? No, I feel like I don't know if it's Tiger. Would it be Tiger? Am I right? I feel like that's too easy of an answer.
I probably would.
Any other golfers you like to watch right now?
I've been enjoying watching Xander. His success, and then Scheffler's been unreal. So, John Daly would probably be the guy just because it would be a really fun round, and that's kind of what I go golfing for. But how would you turn it down around with Tiger? You know what I mean?
Very true. All right, Ashlee, good job. I know that was kind of
Thank you.
nerve-wracking,
I
so you
know.
did a great job.
I tried to
All right,
study.
Kirby, are you ready?
I guess.
Okay. What is Ashlee's ideal way to spend an off day as a family?
Ooh. Probably me taking the kids and going somewhere, and she just gets
As a family, I just leave the
sits
family
in her,
alone.
Sits in the room and doesn't get to be bothered and can do whatever she wants.
That's not really a family day, but yes, I would enjoy that.
What is Ashlee's favorite ballpark food item or drink?
I don't.
The drink is easy,
Yeah, margarita.
obviously. Hands down.
But I know at Petco Park she loved Board and Brew.
Oh, it's so good, the sandwich. Yeah,
Yeah, there
I
you
forgot
go.
about those. Yeah, those
Nice.
are great. Wow, good memory.
Okay, finally, who is Ashlee's celebrity crush?
Gerard Butler.
You knew that one instantly. You knew exactly where to go with that.
100%.
I love it. Well, you guys both did a great job on the Newlywed Game. Thanks for playing.
See?
Wow.
Love it.
When we come back from break, we'll have them answer my signature question, take some fan submissions, and play Start, Sit, Give the Boo. Some people find comfort in sitting still, but not you. You're born to explore, to seek out adventure, and to live life to its fullest. Discover the Frontier Collection by Justin today, featuring out-of-the-box comfort and 12 stylish designs. The Frontier Collection is built for those who go the extra mile and get the most out of life. From the saddle to the streets and everywhere in between, the Frontier Collection by Justin is right there with you. For just $199, you can find your Frontier today at justinboots.com. And speaking of Justin boots, we have start, sit, give the boot. So Kirby, your 3 categories will be Kauai golf courses. So we'll have you start, sit, give the boot to, I'm going to probably botch these, so bear with me. Princeville Mackay Golf Club, Ocean Course at Hokuala, and Wailua Golf Course.
Oh. Okay, so what's the first one?
Princeville.
And so I got to give the boot to one of them?
Yes.
I would probably give the boot to the Ocean Course at Hokuala.
Okay.
It's still a really good golf course. I've never actually played the Princeville Mackay. I've seen it from afar, and it's a good one. And then Wailua is there. It's a public golf course. It's the only probably like one of 2 municipals on the course, but it's probably got the best layout as far as golf course on the island.
So start that one?
Start that one. Yeah, and then Princeville, and then...
Nice. We'll have to check those out. I know your hat says Oahu golf, but we have to check out Kauai golf as well.
Yeah.
And then, Ashlee, your 3 categories are Texas food. So we have Tex-Mex, barbecue, and then Southern food. So things like chicken fried steak, stuff like that.
Sorry, everyone. Barbecue, kick the boot. I cannot. It's not good. Tex-Mex, number 1. So I would start there. And then what's the middle one? Stop?
Sit.
Oh, sit. Sorry. So sit was...
Southern food.
Southern food.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go in the middle with that.
I like it. Okay, now we're going to move on to my signature question. So let's say you somehow miss the flight to Seattle and you have to road trip in a car 2,000 miles from DFW to Seattle. Kirby, what Rangers player or coach would you go with?
Rangers player or coach? I might take B. Hayes, our bullpen coach. I think me and him on a cross-country trip might do pretty well together.
And then let's say it's you, Brett Hayes, and a player. What player would you take to add to the trio?
All right. I'm trying to think.
It's a fun clubhouse.
It is. So, it'd have to be somebody that we could kind of, bicker back and forth with, and they would give us it'd probably be Spores.
I like that combo.
Because it'd be easy to pass time. I'll just say that with the conversations. I know that for a fact.
And the sarcasm, too.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Okay, Ashlee, what about you? 2,000 miles on a road trip to Seattle with either a Rangers player, wife, fiance, girlfriend, anyone in that
Lindsay
group.
Jankowski, hands down. So we already had a relationship prior in San Diego, and I just know we'd have a great time. Plus all those kids, they'd entertain each other the
get a
whole
big van
trip.
and-
Yeah, it'd be perfect. We'll get the party bus. There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
A party bus for 2,000 miles. That sounds like a
perfect.
blast. And then finally, we're going to jump to some fan Q&A. So Kirby, this one's from you. This is actually from a Rangers fan from Maui. So what Hawaiian food do you miss the most during season?
The poke. The fresh fish and that. I know there's poke shops everywhere around, but it's not even remotely the same.
Have you found any decent Hawaiian food in the Metroplex?
Yeah, you can find Hawaiian food, which is it's just hard to find the fish, right? You can't get it any fresher than you can in Hawaii. So, but I've found some pretty good Hawaiian places around. There's definitely Hawaiian people that have food, their own restaurants around in the league and in certain places. Minnesota's got a good one. Seattle's got a good one. So there are places to go to find Hawaiian food.
Nice. Next question. This is for both of you. Who was your idol growing up? So maybe it was a volleyball player, just an athlete that you looked up to, or someone in your family.
Oh, I guess I'd say my mom. She's obviously my idol. I respect her, and she's my best friend. If I'm going celebrity, I don't know. I really like Julia Roberts, but I don't know if she's an idol.
That's a good one.
I just like her, so I'm not sure if she's an idol.
It counts.
Yeah.
Kirby, what
mine
about you?
was King Griffey Jr. growing up, baseball player. So it was actually kind of cool because we were sitting down on the home run derby, and I just kind of looked over my shoulder, and he was standing right there and had my kids, and it was kind of cool. He took a picture with us, and it's kind of, to me, that moment was pretty sweet.
Was that the first time you had met him?
I met him my rookie year, very briefly, and then I'd seen him a couple times since, and then that was the first time where it was we had a couple conversations, which was cool.
Nice, very cool. And then finally, this is for both of you also. Who do you think has the best closer entrance in baseball?
Sorry, I'm not going to pick yours.
What?
I liked his in San Diego, the Metallica. Was it Metallica? Yeah, that one is good. That was like hard, and this one's casual.
But you feel like you're in Hawaii, so
Yeah,
I'm here for
I like it. I like the lights. I think that's really cool that they do the lights. I mean, I love you, but I liked the hard rocker vibe. Was kind of exciting.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, who has a good one? I
don't know.
Pay attention.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, this is like years ago, but when I went and watched Tyler in San Diego and Trevor Hoffman came in the game, I thought that was probably by far the sickest one I've seen. And this was before they've ever even did the lights or whatever, but it was awesome.
What song did he have?
Hell's Bells.
Oh, that's right.
So it was good. Like, it was really good.
That's awesome. Well, we'll be excited to see what happens next year, too, for closer entrances or second half of the season. Or it's a lot of fun. People get really creative and crazy with them now.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. Well, this was great. Thank you guys so much for joining
you.
me on episode 7.
No problem. Thanks for
Thank you.
having
It's
me.
been great,
for
of
having
course. Rangers fans, that's going to do it for episode 7 of Rangers Deep in the Heart, presented by Justin, the official boot of the Texas Rangers. As a reminder, go purchase The Stink by Ashlee Yates. We'll link everything down below in the episode description, so make sure to go check that out and support her as well. We'll be back in a few weeks, but until then, I'm Hannah Wing, signing off from Globe Life Field.